Yo, 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 we're in the house. It's your boy, Bobby Rassles in the building. Yes, we're here to talk about wrestling, folks. And if you're joining us for the first time, we are the All About Wrestling podcast. For all of you newcomers and those that have been with us all this time, make sure you check him out. Mind of AK for sculptures, all types of stuff. You know, look at this. This is talent, folks. If you're into sculptures and you want custom sculptures, go to Mind of AK on Twitter or on Instagram. All right, so folks, what it is, what's going on? I have a treat for you because Meow Moore will not be with us tonight. She's taking care of some personal business. However, I do have a treat. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Raw's in the building.
What's going on?
How you feel, man?
Pretty good. Long time, man. Long time.
Absolutely. Up in the studio.
Looking good in here, man.
Oh, yeah, man. We got to do it big.
Short time. Looks good.
Thank you. We got Brad Williams in the chat. Mr. Spades, of course. Southwest Philly is here. Let's go. Jack's bro, Northeast Philly in the house. We're here to talk about wrestling. So, you watch wrestling this week, man? What's new? How you feeling about what's going on in the world?
I've been watching it. I mean, I've been steady with it, but I've been keeping up with the news, trying to keep up with everything that is going around. The whole Cody Rhodes thing, which to me was surprising. But I guess money talks, and WWE is trying to do everything they can to get AEW, I guess, down. I don't know. Looks good. Jeff Hardy going to AEW, so that's another good one. But yeah. I think he prematurely announced that.
Yeah, that was a little crazy. We're definitely going to talk about that a little bit later. So we're talking about Jeff Hardy, his comments that he made. We're talking about AJ Styles signing a new contract.
Big one. Big contract.
Big contract, yes. And we're also talking about Cesaro becoming a free agent. All right. So, and today we have a special guest. We have Steven Farrugia. He's going to be here from the UK. All right, so just stick tight. A lot to talk about, folks. We're going to try to do our top five. All right, let's give it a run. Let's give it a test. Top five. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. All right, so we got a black curtain. Let's see if we can do this right. Here we go. All right, boom, top five highlights. So it's been a crazy week of wrestling. Lots going on. Let's talk about it. Number 5, Sammy Guevara retains his TNT championship.
I like that guy.
I do too.
The kid is good.
He is, definitely. Are you surprised that he retained? Of course, he went against El Idolo. What are your thoughts about El Idolo, and do you think he's going to lose his title soon?
Oh, Sammy or El Idolo?
El Idolo. I mean, Sammy.
Sammy, yes. Okay. I don't know. I mean, they're running with this with Guevara. He's looking good out there, man. I think he's gonna hold it for a little bit. I think his gimmick is good. I like the way he wrestles. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I mean, I think he keeps it for a little while.
Okay. Number 4, Johnny Knoxville, haluva kicked. If you saw SmackDown, Johnny Knoxville got his block knocked off. What are your thoughts? And are you excited to see him in WrestleMania, or you just think he should just get out of here?
I think it's funny. Why not? WWE's been doing this for a little while. Bringing all these actors and different people, kind of give it like a push. You got the Logan brother,
right?
So I mean, I think it's all right. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Okay. Number 3, finally announced.
I like it.
Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. What are your thoughts?
Dream match. What do you think?
Oh man, I'm gonna be cringing because Bryan Danielson's on a level that I've never seen in a while. probably ever on the main stage. And then John Moxley just came back and he's looking like he's in the greatest shape of his life.
I like it. I mean, dude, it's two great storylines. I mean, in wrestling and their careers, it's just great. It's a great fight. It's gonna be a good one.
I agree. Number 2, MJF in tears.
He's a great actor, man. That dude, he's good.
Yeah, man. Like, yo, he's the next best thing.
I like it. I mean, and isn't his contract coming up?
So I think he's around to the end. People in the live chat, help me out here. I think he's in AEW till 2024, sometime in 2024.
Oh, that's what it is. I thought I heard that his contract was coming up in WWE.
2023, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's good, man. He's definitely good. Jack's bro, Mox has no wrestling skills,
but his acting kind of gives it a I don't know. I just like his whole setup, like just how they have him in wrestling, that attitude. I don't know. I guess you're right about the wrestling skill, but he just has the attitude for wrestling.
Yeah, love MJF, Mr. Spade, 2023. All right, so he's around till 2023. I think it's crazy with everything going on with Cody Rhodes leaving, possibly going to WWE. I hope this does not open a door. We do know, we heard trolling from MJF saying that he was going to go to WWE. I'm interested in seeing if this is going to be a trend. I mean, we don't know if Cody Rhodes is actually going to WWE. This is all speculation. There's nothing concrete.
It's so much going around, though. I mean, I like you said, nothing set in stone, but it's too much rumor. I don't know. It's a lot. So I think he's going. I think they're gonna give him that push he finally wanted in WWE.
Yeah, because he
had the corniest characters over there.
Yeah, the Stardust.
Yeah, what the whatever.
Number 1, Buddy Matthews in AEW. All right, so formerly known as Buddy Murphy, he's in the House of Black. What are your thoughts? Like, he looks great. Yo, this dude is jacked now.
Yeah, I saw him live at a small show, and he's amazing. He's a great wrestler.
He is.
So good.
He is. We have official manifest meaning. Sean Creed is in the building.
What's going on?
What's up, bro? Mr. Spades, Nikita Lyons. That is all.
I think my son is in there somewhere. Eli, if you can hear me, what's going on, kid?
Nikita Lyons has been all over social media, man. I think she did like a split and like pinned somebody with her booty showing. That's all over Instagram right now. All right, folks, for the moment you all been waiting for, we got a special guest from the UK. Special guest, Steven Farrugia. He's here to talk about his book. Make sure that you get this information and you head over to Instagram, folks. Instagram, and his book is on Amazon, so make sure you check him out. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our special guest from the United Kingdom. We have Steven Farrugia. He's here to discuss his book, How to Be a Mark Without Leaving a Mark, One Fan's Journey Through the World of Professional Wrestling. It's good to have you. Welcome to the show.
Great, thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So you're a wrestling fan. You've been a wrestling fan.
A little bit.
Yeah? Well, let's go back. So how old were you when you actually became a wrestling fan?
5.
5 years old.
5 years old. 5 years old, yeah. So I become a fan through the other fans at school. I'd never ever seen wrestling, but all the other kids had, and I wanted to fit in. So then I started watching wrestling and got heavily involved, and all those other kids, they don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, that's cool. It's really good to have a fan. We've had several wrestlers on, but it's good to have. You know, I'm a fan to the core. I've been a wrestling fan around the same age. I actually started around 5. I actually got into the sport, and I read your book, and you talk about the unconventional way of actually becoming a fan. Because I always hear the story. I sat down, I watched TV, and then I fell in love with it instantly. But in your case, it was a little bit different. you actually set out to create to do something different with writing your book. You wanted to write a book, and you started out on a quest to rank the 100 greatest wrestling champions of all time.
Yep, that was my original idea for a book.
Yeah, and
Um, yeah, it just didn't gel. It didn't gel. It just didn't feel real, organic. There was Moondog Maine was in the top 25, and I thought this is because I came up with a ranking system.
right,
You get points for winning the world title, points for holding the world title, regional titles, and then you get to the point of people booking the territory, putting the belts on themselves, only staying in that one territory, and all of a sudden they're really high on the list. And like, okay, maybe this book's not going to work.
yeah. It's funny. Your ranking formula was actually, I thought it was foolproof. I thought that the way that you had it, yeah. And then you started talking about these other wrestlers and these other promotions, and the decisions that were being made with championships, being held for a long time, being passed on to other individuals, and of course, your ranking formula, it consisted of how long the champion held the title for, played a big part of it.
Yeah, you got more points for holding it longer, and every time you win it, you got points. Yeah, then it was just the guy booking his own territory, putting his belt, but you can't ignore Portland.
Right.
It's a huge territory. It was a huge territory. But then you got Moondog Maine as a top 25 champion of all time, and I mean, the average wrestling fan's not heard of Moondog Maine, let alone an average non-wrestling fan. It's
right.
He started the Moondogs. He's got a big part in history, but no, he's not a top 25 champion. And I just kind of lost faith in the book because it doesn't feel like it's right.
Right. And you know what? I'm thankful that you actually chose to write about your own journey through the world of professional wrestling as a fan. I've never read a book as good as this, because we rarely see the perspective from the fans. We always read books about professional wrestlers and their success. But you actually tried a different approach, which I thought was very good.
Thank you very much.
And I recommend this book.
Nice compliment, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It was such a pleasure to read this book. Being a wrestling fan, I could relate to a lot of the
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
Yeah. So I believe it's 43 chapters. Is that correct?
Yeah, that sounds right. Not sure off the top of my head, actually.
And
it's 43. Yeah.
And I like how you creatively named your chapters. You named your chapters. It's kind of metaphorically. It seems like a relationship between you and the sport of professional wrestling.
That's what I wanted. Yeah, but I kind of wanted that at the beginning, and go away from that as I become more jaded as a fan. And so it's all at the beginning. It's all like love. How I fell in love with wrestling. First dates is a chapter. Going back to your place is a chapter. But then I want to move away from that as I become older, more jaded, more cynical about wrestling. I didn't want the title to be as romanticized.
Right. One of the best chapters that I liked was chapter 6, where you actually talked about Dustin Rhodes, Barry Windham. I remember being a kid, and in my opinion, I think around that time, the tag team wrestling was so much better, in my opinion, because the tag teams were actually built with some context behind it, and a lot of the tag teams were meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a book somewhere behind me, The Lost Art of Tag Team Wrestling. It's true. I don't want to say they don't know how to work tag matches anymore, because FTR definitely do.
Yeah.
But that art has been lost. It's you watch Brain Busters, you watch the Minnesota Wrecking Crew, you watch any of Dustin's teams. These are a lot of good teams. Any of Bobby Eaton's teams, any of Ian Anderson's teams. The tag team psychology is phenomenal. All Japan in the 90s, that tag team, amazing. It just feels like, I mean, I still love tag team wrestling, but I think it's lost something. And FTR keeping it alive.
Absolutely. I agree with you. For our viewers, if you could tell them, how important do you think the perspective of the wrestling fan is to the world of professional wrestling, in your opinion?
Well, it should be the most important thing. It should, because we're the ones buying the tickets, buying the T-shirts, watching the TV. Without us watching the TV, you don't get advertising money. We should be listened to, but on the other side, we don't always know what we're talking about. You couldn't put an average fan in the booking position and he'd book an amazing promotion.
Right.
We don't always know what we want, but we should be catered to a certain degree, at least, because we're the ones who fund it. Without us, there's nothing.
I agree. For you guys that are watching this, his book is available. Your book is available on Amazon.
Correct. Yep.
I definitely recommend this book for every wrestling fan because it provides a different perspective. Because, like you mentioned in the beginning of your book that the usual way that someone falls in love with wrestling is it's on TV. A family member or a friend or a friend of the family is watching it, and they say, "Oh wow, what's this?"
Yeah, and that's not what I did at all. I just wanted to fit in at school.
Yeah.
We all had the magazines and the colouring books, and I'd be looking at these characters. And I don't know how long it was after I finally watched WCW Worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Bob Cook versus Tracy Smothers was my first ever match, which to anyone else is just a throwaway match, including the people in the match. But to me, that was my first ever match, and I'll never forget it. 4 minutes it was. Tracy's mother went over. I've never looked back.
Wow.
The only time I ever questioned my wrestling love was the Benoit murders, which I cover in the book, chapter in the book, about how that made me feel as a wrestling fan and made me question being a wrestling fan. That we push these guys to these limits. We demand these limits, and but then I carry on watching. So what can I say?
Yeah, I think that's most of us. Your perspective is unique because you're actually in the United Kingdom. You're not in the States, and most of our viewers, we're in the States. So I think it's great for them to actually get a different perspective. How you actually found WWF at the time, currently WWE, and how they actually started to expand in the United Kingdom.
I was right there at the expansion, really. I was there SummerSlam 92 with 80-something thousand other fans. It's an amazing experience. At that time, WWF they probably would have drawn 10,000 for the same show in America.
Yeah.
And they came here and it was 80,000, the big Davey Boy moment, hero like we've never had. And you can talk about British wrestlers now, Ospreay's doing amazing. Drew McIntyre is the first British champion, but they're not revered like Bulldog is, and they won't be. To British man, Bulldog is the man, really.
Oh, absolutely. I always thought that the United Kingdom had the greatest fans. Whenever WWE goes over there on TV,
that's we don't get it. We don't get it easy. We have to wait and wait and wait for it.
Yeah. Oh, the crowd, the fans are amazing. It's amazing.
So we're passionate. Yeah. It comes from the soccer crowd, the chants and the songs.
Yeah.
It's a spillover of that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, definitely come back. Come back to the podcast.
Yep.
You watch wrestling regularly, so we're definitely going to have your insight on a lot of the upcoming events, especially WrestleMania. We'd like to have your opinion about, whatever the results are going to be for WrestleMania.
Okay. Yep. No problem.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can find Steven Farrugia's book on Amazon, How to Be a Mark Without Leaving a Mark, One Fan's Journey Through the World of Professional Wrestling.
Thank you very much, and thanks for the kind words about it.
Thank you. So there you have it, folks. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a special surprise. Are you ready for it?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Bam.
Bam. Y'all already know what it is.
She's here, folks. Mia Moore is in the building. She's back.
Y'all thought I was gone, huh?
All right.
Y'all even had this dude sitting in my chair though. Like I was like, what's going on here?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I gotta blast you guys. I gotta blast you guys.
I haven't been here
bit.
so long. It's just coming at me.
That's why
I know.
I have to do this.
sorry.
I have to do this. You know, I gotta put you on blast. It's our other co-host over here,
Who
never shows up.
No. Easy.
and I have the babies here. You know,
she's coming at my neck hard.
Yes.
Hello.
You guys got to tell him, okay? He needs to be on more. This guy is our co-host. We advertise his face.
Nothing but facts.
Yo, Brad Williams says Bobby Rassles is going international. Mr. Spade says, hey.
Bobby Rassles. What about me? I'm on. Like I'm the personality over here.
Brad Williams says that needed a drum roll. All right, folks. So
I don't think Bobby does those anymore.
That's what?
He downgraded them drum rolls. Can we get a drum roll?
That's on the audio show, folks. That's on the audio show. So
No
listen.
more drum rolls.
No more drum rolls.
I'm
Don't
gonna
ask
bring
for
my
that.
little Puerto Rican drums. So every time we do it,
yeah. And then I can have the little.
That's it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
All right, folks. Let's talk about our main topics here, okay? All right. So if you've been watching wrestling this week, you know about what's going on, folks. AJ Styles, he signs a new deal. According to Sean Ross Sapp, a fight will select AJ Styles to sign a contract extension with WWE and will be getting paid over $3 million per year. What are you guys' thoughts?
I think that's fucking amazing. Excuse my language. I think that's really great.
I think it's good.
I mean,
that's a lot of money, so they must have something planned for him.
$3 million a year.
It's a lot of money for a wrestler. So
Yeah, it is a lot. I think that's one of the top
That is
paid
a lot
contracts.
of money for AJ Styles. Like,
well,
He's worth it.
I think he's worth it.
Yeah, he's worth it.
I don't like he needs a new character, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree.
But-
I agree.
But he can wrestle. He's always gonna wrestle his whole career.
Yes.
He's
And
a good-
his
a good-
energy is good too.
Yes,
like when he
it
comes
is.
out, he's like always like really confident and like he's the shit. You know what I mean? So
But I just think if they switched up his flow a little bit with like a different character, like how they did Roman Reigns a little bit, because I
Right.
hated Roman Reigns, and now
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think
Yeah.
Roman Reigns' character is great.
I think that's because he's a heel now.
And he's a 302.
So oh, that's funny.
Yo, man. I mean, but this means that we won't see AJ Styles anywhere else, folks. This means he's probably going to be with WWE for a very long time. I do not know the specifics about his tenure with this new contract, but I mean, don't expect them to see him anywhere else.
Well, I think what now is WWE, what they're doing is they're gonna have to start paying and keep these people because they know they have competition.
I agree.
Because AJ Styles would have been picked up in seconds.
And they know that whoever they're letting go is getting picked up very quickly.
And not even that, but with AEW, they can also wrestle in other promotions and get paid everywhere else.
Right.
So
And
It's,
Cesaro is on the market.
he needs to go somewhere where they're gonna use him. I like that guy. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't know. They didn't use him properly in WWE ever.
They don't use anyone properly in WWE.
He's about Cesaro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's go to that story. All right. So Cesaro, free agent, becomes a free agent. His WWE contract expires, according to Wrestling Observer. He rejected. Listen to this. He rejected another offer, so he wanted out of there.
I think it's right. He should. How many times we thought he would have been the face of the championship and nothing?
Yeah.
He deserves it. Been there forever.
There's been reports that Vince McMahon just was he just didn't want to push him at all, which I thought was a mistake.
Yeah, I think it was too.
Yeah. I mean, would you like to see Cesaro on AEW?
Yeah. I think they use him well.
I mean, I think they would use him well too, but I don't want to see like AEW flooded with WWE.
Very
characters.
true. And I was thinking that, but then I started realizing they know how to plan the way they do things.
Yeah, they gotta pick and choose, and
but
I don't think Cesaro makes the cut.
But
I'm
what
sorry.
I'm saying is,
What?
I think
That's
the
just
way that they
my
plan
opinion.
the way they plan their things and the way they move in AEW is they do it for a little bit, it's quick, they get the storyline done, and then they move on to a new one.
Right.
They're not sticking with these storylines
They
for
don't
so
dwell
long.
on things. I agree, and that's what me and
That's what I
Bobby
like
were
about it.
talking about. They go with their stories, but when they know it comes to an end,
It's
it
over.
comes to an end,
Start
and then
with the new
something.
one.
Yes,
Yes,
I agree,
I like it.
100%.
And I think Cesaro can come in and have a decent storyline, make a good face, and then
Right, agreed.
and have a better opportunity. I just think AEW's opportunities are way better right now.
Well, Jax Bros is there. They were killing him off. He's got great skills.
That's very true. I'm with that one. Facts.
I agree. I mean, I would love to see him fight Miro again. I mean, can you imagine?
That'll be good.
Or even form a team.
That's a good example.
Yes,
That's a good example. That's a good example of taking a character and making
using
it,
their
and
qualities.
using so,
Yes,
dude, that was great.
because Miro, that's his name now, right?
Yeah, Miro.
Yeah, he's good. I love
like
his
him.
character.
Character's
I
good.
love his he's a heel, so he looks great as a heel, and I think he also was a heel in WWE, right?
But yeah,
At some point, I
At
think
some point.
before he left, he was a face.
Yeah, that was just horrible before he left.
With
But
the
even
whole
now, when
wedding
you
thing.
see him, his
But look at
physique
him
is
now.
different. Like his physique is different. His confidence is different. You know, he comes out. He's a champion. Like, and that's what he comes out as. That's what he holds on his shoulders. You know what I mean? And it's obvious.
and that's what I mean about Cesaro going there and
Right.
doing the same thing.
I agree.
Well, look at the examples we have. All right, so we have Miro, who was so much more tenacious. Look at Bryan Danielson. I've never ever known the amount of skills and talent that he's had to maximum effect until I see him do a AEW match. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy because when I see Miro now, I'm like, yo, this dude looks great. Like, he wrestles great. We all knew that he wrestles great. But, like, to be able to show his full potential, like, could you imagine if you see Cesaro in that same position? Like, what is he really capable of? You know what I mean? And just to see him, you know, be the person that he's truly meant to be, which is a great wrestler, and put that character to use. I'm curious to see what that would be like.
True. I mean, we know he can wrestle.
Right.
We know that he has
The potential.
potential. He's
Right.
great. His acting is very good. It's just they never give him that push that I think he deserves.
I agree.
All right. So moving on along, lastly, Jeff Hardy. All right, so the Jeff Hardy situation, as we all know, according to Wrestling Inc., he seems to be backpedaling regarding his comments about going to AEW. So recently on social media, Jeff Hardy said he's going to AEW. Now he seems to be backpedaling, saying, you know, I'm not going anywhere right now. We do know that he has a non-compete clause. All right. What are your
So
thoughts?
that means he ain't going nowhere right now.
Well, it's set to expire. It's going to expire, I believe, in March.
Yes.
In March, but I mean, you can't go around saying comments about that.
No, like, come on, you're not even part of their company. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. He wants attention, y'all.
He does, and not only that, but I was talking to Bobby before the show even started, and we were talking about how great of a wrestler he is, and how great his career was. But that's because they stuck by him. That dude is a loose cannon.
He
When he's
still
off.
is, and he's old.
When
He's
he's
not that
off.
old, but
So
Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy.
We talking about Jeff Hardy.
he's not that old, is
He's
he?
not that old. I mean,
Well,
he's
for-
older.
yeah,
he's
he's-
older
for-
than when he first debuted it. Like, I mean,
For
But
his wrestling, like the
for
stuff he
his
does.
skills, yes,
His-
he's.
And they kept him running because of his
proficient,
skills.
you
He's
know?
very good. He just has issues.
I mean, who doesn't? You know what I'm saying? There's stuff
I
that's
think-
covered up by people, you know.
Well, when you,
And when you become an alcoholic or something, people want to blast that out. But what happens when you do other things?
Well, Mr. Spade says Jeff needs to chill for a while.
I think the problem is with him chilling is he falls for a trap. He falls to the trap, and he becomes. But from before, he was a drug addict. I mean, he was drinking. He was doing this, doing that. But then wrestling kind of saved him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would love to see the Hardy Boys again. From what I understand, all right, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the live chat. The reports is that he has a non-compete clause. Isn't there reports that they were wrestling, like the Hardy Boys were wrestling on around in independent companies? Because now I'm having a little bit of confusion because reports are saying that he still has a non-compete clause. Does that non-compete clause means is it specifically with other big companies or is it
televised companies?
right, or is it something technical in there where it says all right, you can wrestle in independent organizations that aren't really? Because I heard they were on some kind of tour.
But I know that AEW you can wrestle in other other places.
And AEW definitely, because me and Bobby were talking about that. But
WWE, I don't think so.
WWE, you can't do shit. Like you're stuck
can't.
like Chuck.
Yeah.
Like, but hold on. Let me just stop you on that, because wasn't there a wrestler that is wrestling for New Japan Pro Wrestling, or somebody else that has a belt in WWE from another company?
Nobody.
Are you sure?
I think Moxley had a belt from another company, but he was AEW. But you could
That
do
was
that.
AEW. Yeah.
No. Okay, so I might be thinking about something else. But if it
You're
comes
thinking
back
about what's her name? She was on the Royal Rumble. She had an Impact.
okay, yes,
Mickey James.
Yeah, but that's different
That's
because
who I'm
Mickey
talking about.
James is Impact Wrestling. When you're in Impact Wrestling, you can wrestle in other organizations.
Okay.
But when you're WWE's contract alone, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't wrestle anywhere else.
Oh, that makes sense.
So she came for the Royal Rumble. She
From
did her
Impact
thing,
to WWE.
and then she went back.
Right. That makes sense. Okay.
Right. Mr. Spade says Jeff moves and walks like a malfunctioning RoboCop.
Great.
Brad Williams, Hardy is a liability these companies don't want to deal with right now. Jax Bro says he needs to retire. I don't think he needs to retire. I think he's got a lot left. He got a few more interviews to give us. He's right. I mean, he does stuff that we love to see. Him and Matt Hardy and AEW. I mean, it would be great to see a great tag team, because the tag team division, they lost Lucha Bros. One of them is down. Ray Phoenix is down with an injury.
Right.
FTR, arguably one of the greatest tag teams in the world. They're doing their thing. You got Sting, Darby Allin. Sting's older.
But are they? I know they do some tag team stuff, but they're not officially a tag team, are they?
I don't think
Sting was more like a
coach,
manager,
like a mentor.
coach, something.
Yeah.
And every now and then he'll jump in the ring with them.
Yeah, you're right. And what other tag teams do we have though?
The Gun Club or whatever that.
Yeah, the Gun Club.
Which I like. I think they're just like their dad.
They are. The one guy looks just like his dad. And then what's the other tag team? They come out. Max Caster comes out rapping.
Oh yeah, he's cool though. I like him. What's his name?
When I first saw him, I said
he is so cool.
He's gonna catch on.
Yeah.
It's like CM Punk John Cena back in the day when he had the big chain.
I have to say, I wish I would see more of him, because I feel like we don't see enough of him. What's his name? Can we get his name?
Max Caster.
Oh, Max Caster. Who's the guy that he's with that comes out with him? His little hype man.
I can't think of his name right now.
I seen that guy like
their
two,
tag
three
team.
times. I haven't really.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's really cool though. I don't think they show him much though, honestly.
Yeah, I don't really keep up with that guy.
I like the vibe though. I like when he comes out, and it gives me kind of like a family wrestling type of thing, because the kids would be like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Yeah, although a lot of the time, most of his lyrics are arguably like he got put off TV for a while because he mentioned something about.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was funny though. I mean, it was so great.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna dry tonight. Come on, what's up?
It's been a long night, man.
Man, you telling me I was the one, out here and late, coming in late and everything.
I took her seat. Sorry.
Oh my God, he took my seat. How dare
I'm
you?
good now. Look at
How
me.
dare you? Look
Can't
at
even
you.
see the TV.
I know. I get the whole body shot over here.
I
You
get
guys
nothing.
are
I'm like-
perfectly.
Well, if you were here during sound check and
I was
camera
trying
check,
to hurry. I mean, it should have been fixed with him, but you, I don't know what's going on over here today. But go ahead. What's the next thing?
folks, that's it. Folks, make sure you go to Amazon. Make sure you check for Steven Farrugia. He has a book, How to Be a Mark Without Leaving a Mark. One Fan's Journey Through the World of Professional Wrestling. You want to check that out on Amazon. You can go to my webpage, go to our webpage, allaboutwrestling.net. There's a link right there. It says available on Amazon. Click that link. It takes you to Amazon. Purchase his book. Support him. He's from the UK, and he's an avid wrestling fan like all of us.
Like all of us. We come on here just to spread our news and spread our thoughts, and just kind of get what our wrestling fans are feeling.
Yeah. Ray Raw, you got any last comments for the viewers?
And make sure you make it good, because we don't know when this guy's gonna be here again.
Oh.
Listen, I'm sorry.
Let's cross our fingers on this one. Say a prayer.
Been a busy guy, but I'm gonna try my best to get up here on these shows. I need to be here. I missed it.
Yes, man. Like
I had to
it's
put this in my
like-
calendar to make sure I get here. I've been talking to Bobby for a couple of days now. I was like, I'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be there. I'm here, and I'll try to continue.
Okay.
Right.
I'll
That's
hold you
right.
to that. You guys have this on air. It's concrete.
Yes, yes. Mr. Spades, Brad Williams, Jax Bro, all of you guys, thank you for joining us
Thank you,
next
guys.
week. Next
Thank
week we're gonna
you.
have we're having the pay-per-view early show for AEW Revolution. So our start times
Pay-per-view
may
early
change.
show.
Let me get on my calendar now and put it in there.
Yes,
Yes.
please. And don't give us any excuses. We have a daycare here.
Listen, join the poll.
And make sure you subscribe, you share. If you haven't already shared, if you know wrestling fans, make sure you share our podcast. We are all about you.
Jax Bro says give him your chair. He'll be there. He'll be back.
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
I like this Jax, bro. What is this? I'm gonna find this guy
Yes,
or girl.
Jax Bro is from the Northeast. I saw
Northeast,
earlier.
yes.
Okay,
So,
let's find out who this person is.
maybe we'll do that. I'll see. We'll see.
Hey, listen, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. All week we're going to be doing polls. All right, we're going to have polls of our upcoming AEW Revolution matches. You want to vote because we're going to post those polls. We're going to see how great our predictions are in terms of wrestling. All right, so join us next week. Special start time. We'll let you guys know. Check our community section. And we're going to have our pre-show where we're actually going to talk about the pay-per-view before it starts. All right. All right, Jax Bro, you guys are great. Till next time, folks.
See you.
Thank you for tuning in.